Zaria and Shamarcus Carr had a toxic relationship that driven one of them to do the unthinkable. Let's talk about it. They 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 talk about it. Welcome back to She Could Talk the Podcast. I'm your host, Gangalee. Hey. And that's Gangalee on all streaming platforms. If you want to check out my music, look for the glasses, look for the locks. You can find me there. Okay, you tell me if I could rap. But over here on YouTube, on She Could Talk the Podcast, this is where I react to everything. I react to news, sports, crime, musicians, politicians, YouTubers, TikTokers. If they're talking about it, we're talking about it, okay? Okay. Now this one is I wanted to kind of share my commentary about a couple of things that stood out to me in the sad turn of events that took place with the Carr family. The Carrs consist of Zaria and Shamarcus Carr, and they're out of Emmanuel County, Twin City, Georgia. And they were a young family, young couple who actually ended in demise on Father's Day, out of all days, Father's Day. So I want to start off the episode by saying my condolences to their family, to their children, and sending prayers up to them. Hopefully both of them are able to find the peace they needed after this, because it was a sad turn of events. But what happened was, it's a young couple out of Georgia. And I don't know, it seems like they may have met in the prison system. She seemed to have, based on the story he told on the live, what I gathered was allegedly, and you guys keep me honest, I'm all open for corrections, but perhaps she was the CO, the correction officer at the prison he worked, that he was sentenced to, doing his time in, and they forged a relationship and had a relationship while he was still incarcerated, and she was free. He helped her purchase a home and save up and everything, and then it eventually got married, and then he came home to her, and then they had children. They had a daughter between the two of them, and she has a son outside of him from a previous relationship. Tumultuous relationship these two had. A lot of cheating, a lot of infidelity, a lot of crimes. It seemed like a lot of doctor visits, a lot going on, a lot, right? Even a little bit of voodoo and hoodoo going on, right? So what I wanted to do, because I had a couple of things about their life, about the whole story overall, and several red flags that I've seen just from the live alone, I wanted to share my commentary on that. Now, will I be reacting to the full live? No, I will not. No, I will not. It was very sad to watch, right? It was very perplexing on the soul. My spirit couldn't take it, honestly. And it was low vibrational. But at the same time, I felt like there was a person in that video, or two living beings, I will say, in the video that was crying out for help. Crying out for help. One was the dog. But let's get into it.
In Emmanuel County, around 9:30 last night, the Twin City Police Department and Emmanuel Sheriff's Office say they were called to Fifth Avenue about a domestic disturbance. Deputies.
Now look at her face. It's like a I don't know if it's taunting, but it's like, to me, my opinion, like maybe she was getting a little bit too much enjoyment out of this incident, like this interaction they were having, because she's smiling and he's clearly not. He's clearly hurt, he's clearly tired. Maybe we saw what he did, right? And sometimes I will say, that's a sad thing, but we see a lot of it, and shout out to all the men out there. They say that this is Mental Health Month for men. So shout out to Men's Mental Health Month. Shout out to you all out there, and take care of yourself out there, men. But I think a lot of us feel like, men don't need the same empathy, or the same compassion as women. I've seen where the same day that this happened, Zaria, which is the wife in this incident, made a post on Facebook, something to the effect of, I need someone to help me because I don't want to lose my life or go to jail. I got to be here for my kids, right? Something to that effect. And everybody was saying that it was her cry for help. It was her cry for help. But I want to say, my opinion, guys, not only was she possibly crying for help, just looking at the live, I feel like maybe Shamarcus, aka the Frenchman, was crying for help. Let's listen.
I gotta die if I tell what happened. Give my phone. That's crazy, y'all. I ain't really gonna die behind this, so y'all won't know that tea right now. Martin, where he at? He right here. He getting mad. He don't like the truth coming out.
Did you see that? Did you see that? And I think that's when the live ended. That's when she had the live, and she's smiling and saying, and making a joke, a mockery, almost, if you will, of the situation that was playing out currently. But look at him. This was earlier in the live. Like I said, I'm not going through the whole thing, but listen to him. Look at him. And tell me if you notice anything while he's trying to tell his story.
Pregnant. So I fuck around.
I got what?
And cheat while she was pregnant. First time cheating. I went in home about.
That was your first time, nigga.
About a year.
Paying $100 for phone numbers, but paying.
So again, she's saying that, but I was paying bills when I wouldn't even stand here from prison.
Well, you didn't pay when you stay here, shit.
The motherfucker got there had the nerve to try to validate her cheating with me inboxing girls and shit when I'm in prison. Shit, I needed a pen pal. You feel me? So,
I want the pen pal. What you mean?
So my thing is this. I feel like she should have just allowed him to vent and get it off his chest without her interrupting or piggybacking in the background, because that's causing a buildup, right? He was calm. He was calm. I feel like maybe, perhaps, possibly, if he was allowed to vent, maybe he would have left. He would have made his lasagna, ate, packed up his stuff, and hit the road. My opinion.
she validated that while she around here getting fucked. Okay, so I come back to the point. She get pregnant. My daughter, like y'all done seen on my page. I get caught up cheating. So she calling my phone. She calling my phone.
And she's up there with her friend on her phone,
She come and tell me,
who's gassing her to do stuff. Look at her.
"Oh, I'm cooking lasagna, my boy."
Hear the dog. The dog is distressed. The dog knows what type of atmosphere they're living in, right? Like, calm down, stop. He was calm. The dog was calm. Somebody on the live said, "What you cooking?" He said, "Oh, I'm making lasagna." He even put a little smile on his face when he was interacting with them, right? With his live. She should have just left him alone. If you wanted to talk to your friend and vent while he was doing this, I get it. He went raunch. It was a raunchy live to watch. It was sad to watch. But maybe he needed to just vent and get that off his chest. And then go about his business, right? Like, maybe him venting and getting it all out there once and for all, that was going to allow him to be like, "Look, I'm done. I'm moving forward. I'm breaking up," But listen.
So we're not going to say.
So this is, like I said, I'm not staying on anything long. What I wanted to highlight about the actual live itself in that part was her. It didn't seem like a person that took the situation seriously or the relationship, because in one part of the live, he said he, whooped on her, I guess, for lack of a better word, for 3 hours. And she had to get into the car naked, flee, and go to the police. And she's in the background like, "Yep, I was booty hole naked." What? Like, it was like, first of all, she was confirming everything he was saying is factual, in my opinion. She didn't deny anything. None of it. But she didn't seem like she took it serious. Now, this is his brother, and he's saying that, he calls him a good man, but let's listen to what his brother, her brother-in-law, had to say.
He just jumped on women. He just beat her. They have a great relationship. Every relationship go through stuff. Every relationship go through things. He don't just wake up and just jump on her, beat her. He don't do that. When people get triggered, shit happens. Not saying it's right. I'm not condoning that. Not saying it's right. So let's get with the okay. You heard him on live. He got into it. He jumped on her. They got in a fight. He jumped on her for it wasn't no 3 hours. That both of them exaggerated. Both of them exaggerated. It wasn't no 3 hours. Bro got up. He went to work. He get to the job. He say, bro, I think somebody trying to break in at the house. He called me. He like, bro, I think somebody trying to break in at the house. So like, come on, right? What's up? Why you say that? He was like, man, the front camera going off. The front camera gone. So he left work. He doubled back. He left work. He go back to his house that they share, and he went in the house. He parked his car down the road. He went in the house. Zai was in there. Zai was in there fucking another guy. Plain and simple. That's why she was there. He went
Wow.
in his house. He lived with her in his room, his bed. They in there fucking. He lost it. He jumped on both of them. When he...
Now, to me, I feel like that's some clarity that might have been needed with that, because it was like, he said, yeah, I BEAT or her. I want to, YouTube, I love you. Let me hit you with the kiss. Love you, YouTube. But he was like, yeah, I jumped on her, for 3 hours. And then, she was able to, he's like, I let her go. And then she got into the car and, went to the police station. And she said, yeah, but I was booty hole naked. Boom, boom, boom. So I was like, well, dang, did he beat the clothes off of her? This makes more sense. Like, you're getting beat naked because you were doing some things. But let's get back to the brother.
Fighting with the dude, tussling with the dude. She run out the house, jump in the car. She go to the police station. He get up, chasing her, fuck the dude, left the dude in there, whatever. Chasing her. He drive crazy, mad. He drive right up to the police station.
And if this is true, that's wow. In your house, in your bed, while your husband's at work. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I don't feel like there was a seriousness that was taken. I don't think she took a lot of things about the relationship with this guy seriously.
You get there, she's standing outside the car, naked, talking with two officers.
Don't care either.
Shit.
That says a lot. Doesn't even care.
The officer telling him to pull over. He was like, nah. He dipped. He came home. Shit. That was it. He left her. It was over with. He stayed at the house. We at the house every day. We chilling. And shit. Zai kept calling. Like, she wanted him back. She wanted him back. They talk. Whatever, woo. And he loved her. That's his wife. Shit. He went back home. Like, they couldn't get enough of each other. It ain't Mark 5'6", Zai 6 foot. She was handling her own. Like, they fight. That's just what they do. I'm not trying to make her look bad. Zai. You gotta know her.
So dang, he's 5'6" and she's 6 feet. That is a big. I mean, look at the picture. That was a lot going on there, and I'm not saying that. That's a lot going on there. I feel like she gives me kind of little bully vibes. Like, she wasn't scared of him, and the size might have played a factor there. And then I think he was kind of getting tired, obviously.
So shit, they kept going back and forth to each other. You know, this last incident, shit, he checked the phone. He went through her phone, checked the phone. She went and met up with a nigga in Carolina. He went live.
Wow.
You know, they went live. They talked about some business, all this stuff.
With me?
So then right here, this is another part that I wanted to react to. And the reason why I wanted to react to this was because of the spiritual aspect of it, right? He confessed to saying that, well, let's see if I captured it.
One thing about it, I just sat there and said that if you listen to the, if you get to the whole, if you get to the whole live, if you listen to the whole live, I told him I was fucked up. Okay.
Wow.
Okay, and then about the paper, about the paper situation.
This is a long night with them two before everything went down. Jeez.
All stuff. But I'm gonna show y'all. When the hurricane came, a motherfucking hurricane fell through. Look at all this shit. She so goddamn clean. Look at this nasty ass shit. So that shit been on there.
There's stuff everywhere.
So here it is.
That's a recipe of madness. Unclean house, all of that infidelity, extraness, and it's kids in this home. Was kids in the home? Oh my goodness.
A tree fell through the roof right here. So we finesse, you know what I'm saying? Did your little thing. I got the tree all. Again, the house. Again, the house. Again, the house is in her name, so the check come in her name. Do you not believe this bitch try to penny pinch me? Oh, my stuff got damaged and all this shit. But all that shit still in the damn closet back there. That's a damn lie. And then, even if it was, bitch, I bought half of it. No, fuck you. I did. So, the Louis Vuitton pouch that I bought her with $5,000 in that bitch. I'm on the run for the marshals and everything. You think I'm finna give this to you and I feel like I'm entitled to it too? Even though my name ain't on the motherfucking goddamn property? You damn right. That's what she talking about. She gave me. She ain't.
Do you see like her pose? Like it was no sense of seriousness, sense of caution, situational awareness in this. But let's continue.
She ain't giving me shit. She ain't out here goddamn doing shit. She is now. I can't figure out like damn why the fuck I can't catch grip. So
Right here.
I really gotta read it.
Right here. Let's listen to this part closely because this is the part I wanted to give some commentary on.
So the bitch read me. Boom. The bitch told me a motherfucker in my wife, somebody in my wife's family got roots on me. They praying on my brain. They praying on my downfall. They don't want to see this shit. They playing with my finances and my money goddamn blessings. So I asked her this. Oh, it gotta be Miss Jennifer. It's gotta be my godmother. It's gotta be all this. You know what I'm saying? So she keeps throwing
Everything that he like is telling on the thing, she doesn't deny it. But in this part there, she still doesn't deny this part. And then when he said that, he went to get, a reading or whatever, and they told him that someone from her family, she still didn't deny it. She's like, oh, it got to be my godmother. Or it got to be this person or that person, right? So, I don't know. Maybe he was on to something.
out there for her to keep always trying to throw it out there. Oh, he broke. Bitch, you praying on it too.
Facts.
The fuck you talking about? You in with it.
The mouth is powerful. The tongue is powerful.
What's your point? What's your point?
So you heard it. She said, so right there, let's stop it. She said, but you did it too. That's an implication of admission of guilt. You know what I'm saying? She said, but you did it too. You got to listen to words. Words are powerful. And then the pushing him. So I'm going to watch a little bit more, and then I'm going to share, if you guys have been following me, subscribed to me, and been with me for the last couple of months, I share some tales from my granny. And I have one for you after this.
After all that,
He's still calm.
After all that,
Just trying to get his story on.
I went and got down. I went in there trying to get her. I went and called and paid the girl to get a reversal. I tried to get a reversal. So when I got done with to get the damn reversal and shit, you know what I'm saying? She got damn be getting mad. Don't want me to do. Oh, you ain't gonna do this and do that. What the fuck else? You be crying, complain about me being broke.
Okay.
You don't want me to goddamn get right. I ain't never been no broke nigga. I always got money. When I met you, bitch, I had money. You see what I'm saying? As soon as this hoe came in my life, everything went down here. Everything. So here it is. The folks told me every time I get some money, I lose it. I ain't even got to gamble. Everybody know I gamble. See, a bitch like that.
Yeah.
You see how a bitch like that?
Yeah.
You can't trust her.
Tell it all. You slime me.
Look at his face. Look at how he's grabbing his head. Look how he's looking, because he's like, I can't even talk to my life without the constant, rebuttal. She has a rebuttal for everything, right? So listen.
Again, so when it boiled down to it, that's what's going on. You feel me? That's just what's going on. So I'm trying to protect myself. You know what I'm saying? I get another reading from a whole nother motherfucker.
So he's so in denial about his first reading, he went to a second person to get a second reading.
They tell me the same shit from a whole nother person. So that's what's going on. You feel me? It ain't like, oh, I'm just over here just goddamn so fucked up. It's just at the end of the day, this what's going on. This what's going on in my life. So here it is. Bitch, I got a job. I got a good job, bitch. I got a good.
Do you hear how distressed the dog is in the background? Oh my goodness.
Job, bitch. The fuck you talking about? I got a good job. So ever since the reversal shit started coming through for me, shit, I got a nice little job. I'm making almost $22 an hour.
The reversal.
After 90 days, you know what I'm saying, gonna go up. You feel me? So get what? Shit, it's only up from here. You feel me? It's only up from here. Then the bitch get mad. Bitch get goddamn mad. Listen to her. Y'all hear that demon? She get mad.
Did you hear him? He said, do you hear the demon? She gets mad. I saw on TikTok, like a lot of people are going into this, dive into the spiritual aspect of this tragedy. And a lot of that came up. They were saying like it was a demon on her when she was smiling and enjoying it and egging him on, like the look on her face of enjoyment while he's in pain. The dog's even barking. They say dogs can pick up on spirits. I don't know. But the dog was barking. Notice he only barked when she started talking. All right.
She don't like that.
How you wrote my damn
She don't like that.
because you got trying to
She don't
play
like
that
that.
shit.
I ain't never motherfucking got to play with that shit until her family.
Bullshit.
The fuck?
Bullshit.
I ain't know nothing about that shit. She
Okay.
She got mad at me last night and called me a bitch ass nigga. But the same shit she cried about, she do to me. So that shit don't be no damn excuse.
So he said he didn't even know about, the readings and all that stuff until he came in contact with her family. Right? And so he felt like, well, maybe I got to do something because, what's happening. I'm having a different turn of events since I've been encountering these people.
She telling me, oh, well, we getting a divorce. Oh, you gonna pay me $600? We gonna pay.
Yeah.
We gonna pay.
Yeah.
We gonna.
Oh my gosh. And he's like, get out. She's like, he's like, get out of my ear.
So here it is now. And see, that's what she do. And then when I turn around and punch her in her shit, she gonna call the police and say I'm a woman beater. But this bitch, I beat you. I beat you. I'm a bitch beater.
Every time you come in the house,
I'm a bitch beater.
back me head up. What you doing?
We can fight now.
What you doing?
We can fight now.
What you doing?
So I'm not going to look. It's a lot. That's a lot on my spirit. I can't do it. So I'm going to end that right there. But I'm going to share a story with you from my grandmother. My great grandmother was a wise old woman. And the stories that she used to tell me, I guess now that I think about it, that I sit up here with She Could Talk the podcast, maybe she knew that I was going to be the talker. Maybe she knew. So she was like, it will be able to pass on the stories. I don't know. But I don't even know what prompted my grandmother to tell me this story. I don't know what we were in the midst of talking about or looking at on TV or whatever was going on. This was a long time ago. And God bless my granny. May she rest in peace. She's been gone for over 25 years, but she's been here from 1906 to 2000. And she's still here with me. I tell you this all the time. But my great-grandmother, when she was here in the physical, we would always talk. She'd tell me stories daily. She told me a story about when she was young. You know, she was a beautiful woman. And when she was young, living in Jamaica, she had a young man that she was dating. Good looking. You know, my grandmother's good looking. They were a good looking couple. Their families loved each other. They were basically gearing up to get married, right? So everybody just expected that them two would get married and live happily ever after, have children, etc. Right? It was geared up for them. But instead, at the last minute, he just abruptly stopped dealing with my grandmother and fell head over heels in love with another woman, which, and I'm not saying this because she's my grandma, but some people would say that the woman that he left her for couldn't even compare in looks, in quality of woman, everything to my grandma. But nonetheless, he broke my grandmother's heart. They were still young, so she was able to like heal, move on, and get a new husband and make her family, which is hence I'm here today. Hey. So in a weird way, thank you for that, right? But the lady, you know, the lady that ended up marrying my grandmother's ex-boyfriend, I guess, if you will, had a tumultuous relationship with that man. Very tumultuous. Everyone that knew him when he was with my grandmother was shocked to see the behavior and the treatment that he gave the woman he ultimately chose for his wife. And they was like, well, why didn't you just marry the other one? Because you had a peaceful life with her. And he was like, I love her, but I can't even look at her. That's what he told someone. This was all paraphrasing from my grandmother. I love her, but I can't even look at her. Talked about my grandmother. That's what he told somebody. So when he said that to someone, they said, the girl did something to him. The wife did something to him. And you know what I mean? Some people call it roots. Some people call it orbia. Some people call it hoodoo, voodoo, whatever you want to call it. It's out there, right? Santeria, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Varying degrees of it. So in Jamaica, they was like, yeah, orbia. The girl did something to him because this guy never was violent, never did anything to anyone like this, especially to a woman. And he beat her in the street, beat her up and down the road, go to jail, come home, beat her. It was just non-stop beating. So my grandmother said one day she saw him and she, you know, noticed that he never would look at her. And she remembered what they said to her. So she said, I'm going to run in front of him and like make him look at me and be like, yo, what's wrong with you? Like, why are you so violent to your wife? I don't know, like, why she would have done that, because suppose he would have knocked her out, right? Thank God it didn't happen. But instead what happened is when she ran in front of him to kind of like shake him and like, what's going on? You know, he kept walking. So she, you know, grabbed him and shook him. And he turned and looked at her and she said she looked in his eyes and basically he was dead. Like it was no light in his eyes. There was no soul, no nothing in the eyes. And then instead, she let him go and she was like, all right. And she cried about it, but you know, she was just like, he's not who I loved. So you let him go. Ultimately, years later, my grandmother told me that the guy ended up killing his wife. And when he killed the wife, they you know, asked him like, why did you do that? Like, why did you marry her if you always were going to beat her, and then ultimately kill her? He said, I never loved her. I never wanted to marry her. I don't know why I did it. I don't know what was happening. Allegedly. He mentioned some things like that. He said when, and I'm referring back to the guy over here, Shamarcus. He mentioned some things like that. He mentioned he didn't understand why he couldn't get on his feet. He couldn't get right, you know, and then he went to one person and they told him what it was allegedly. He didn't believe them. He went to a whole nother person. They told him the same thing. And that kind of gave him a little bit more like, okay, well, what do I need to do? And they did a reversal, allegedly. And he said that he got a job and he's working now. He got a good job and he's moving up and there's nothing up from there from him, right? Could it be it was a spiritual war of sorts? And if it was, maybe the bad side in the household, the negative demon side, didn't want to see the light shine in him, the change. I don't know. They're both not here to give us one way or the other. And I'm reacting to it. And I told that story to tell you this. My grandmother's story about her ex-boyfriend ended the same way this story ended. You know, someone's demise, right? And my grandmother told me the moral of her story was not to do that. Don't do that. If you don't get the guy with real love, don't do nothing else to get him. If he don't truly love you, he's never going to love you, right? So you can do everything you want to do. You could do whatever type of, you know, thing you think you're doing, right? And you might have him in that physical, right? But that mental is not going to be there. You might have did something else, right? And allowed something negative to enter. Because look what happened. Right after this live is when everything went down. He unalived her and then unalived himself and left both of their children without parents, right? Sometimes it may be better to just let it go and don't force it, right? And this is a perfect example of going beyond, you know, and then even taking it to a spiritual, like messing with instead of doing that, maybe you two should have prayed. You know, got into your word a bit, maybe, you know, go get counseling from a church, you know, a pastor, you know, first lady, parents, even marriage counseling. But to do that to someone and expect to get the benefit of good from it is not going to happen, because they always say, be prepared. If you're doing something like that, if you throw out one, expect to get back two. All right. So I'll leave that there on that one. And once again, I'm going to say to the family, rest in peace. My condolences to the family. Hopefully both of them got their peace in the next life that they couldn't get in this one. Right. And I send love up to the children. You know, I send love out there to the children, and hopefully, and I send the strength to whoever is, you know, left with the task of raising the children now that the parents are not here. As it's a short one, guys. I'm not going to stay too long on it with y'all, but I just want to say, earn the love, guys, out there. Just like I'm trying to earn my love with y'all up here on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Earn the love. Don't try to get around it. Don't try to do no cheating, cutting no corners, because it can backfire, and it will backfire, you know? So until next time, I'm gonna send y'all a little bit of love from my lips to your ears. You know I love you, but I'm gonna hit you with the motto: if you like anything I do, tell a friend. If you don't like anything I do, tell a friend. All right? And also, I need you to go ahead and share a little bit of love with me. Hit the like, subscribe, comment, share, tell a friend, turn on your notifications, then go out there and be good to each other. Okay? We need a little bit more love in the world. All right? Spread that good energy. And until next time, it's She Could Talk the Podcast. It's your girl Gangali, and I'm out. Peace. They talk about it. 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 They talk about it.